It's a bingo app, and it plays exactly how you think a bingo app would play. The only difference, instead of somebody standing up in front of your audience calling out numbers, you're listening to the radio, you're listening to a cover band, you're listening to country music, and you're listening for these words to pop up.
And when you hear a word, when you hear something like America or flag or proud or summertime fun, when you hear the things that make pop country what it is, and you see them on your board, you stamp them. And when you get a complete horizontal, vertical, or diagonal row, you've won. The Country Music Bingo app is free, but for just $1.99, you can remove the banner ads and unlock a bunch of great themes with custom country backgrounds, hand-drawn stamps, and unique sound effects. This was definitely the most fun part of the app to build, and we're looking forward to expanding the library soon.
So one of the features that we decided to put in was different grid sizes. So you can start with a really small 3x3 grid, which only utilizes 9 words, and you can get that all the way up to a 6x6 grid, which will utilize 36 words. So the higher the grid size, the longer you'll have to play.
The other thing that we wanted to incorporate was a difficulty level. So when your Country Music Bingo board is set to easy, all of the words are extremely common. And when your Country Music Bingo board is set to difficult, they're all words that, in our experience, are used fairly rarely. So you can combine difficulty with grid size to either make a really fast game that you can get through in, just a couple of beers, or a really long game that might take an entire road trip for you to win.
So about a year ago, I was contacted by a couple friends of mine who are amazing musicians to join a cover band that they were in. And I, without even thinking about it, I said, of course, send me the playlist. So they sent me a list of about 60 songs, and on the playlist was, some modern pop tunes. There was some like older blues tunes, but the majority of the playlist were all like pop country tunes. So I'm a drummer that grew up listening to Led Zeppelin and, classic rock and, more grunge rock and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam. But then all of a sudden I get to this band and now I have to learn 50 pop country tunes, stuff that I've never heard before in my life. So I pretty much had my work cut out for me. So I made a playlist and I started, listening to it everywhere that I drove in the car.
So John and I are slated to go do some product training at a music store a couple hours north of where we actually live. And I get into the car and he's got this playlist going for his most recent cover band. And it is nothing but pop country, which is not a music that I have a ton of exposure to.
We put it on and it kind of hits us both at the same time, where there are so many words that we keep hearing over and over, and wow, with the frequency of these words, we could probably make bingo out of this.
A couple weeks after this car ride, John and I were slated to fly down to Nashville, the country music capital of the world, to work the annual NAMM show that's down there. John and I both work in the music manufacturing trades. And we just started having a lot of fun going out with friends, walking down Broadway, getting hot chicken at Hattie B's, and soaking in the Nashville scene, listening to all this music and picking out those words, really listening for the patterns that people are using in their writing.
We're just listening to country music everywhere we go, and this list is kind of making itself for us.
It goes from being a kind of funny little observation to maybe being a product, right? We have a list all of a sudden, scattered and crazy though it may be.
And, about a year later, here we are, Country Music Bingo app in hand.
Country is modern pop. It is the music that we hear all over the place now. You are going to hear pop country if you are in your local Walmart, if you are in a restaurant, if you are just out on the streets half the time listening to people moving by on their cars. You are going to hear country music.
Play along while you're on a date. Play along while you're, listening to background music at the office, with your coworkers. And we just want people to have fun with it. So, thank you.